history of organized crime is replete with tales of vengeance, where power struggles, betrayals, and territorial disputes have fueled acts of retribution within the mafia. This video delves into the annals of criminal history to explore 5 major mafia revenges, shedding light on their origins, motivations, and enduring impact on the underworld. You can support the Fact Cemetery channel by liking and subscribing. Thank you. 1. The Castellammarese War, 1929 to 1931. The Castellammarese War was a bloody power struggle that erupted within the American Mafia during the Prohibition era. It was fought between 2 prominent mafia bosses, Joseph Joe, the boss Massacre, and Salvatore Maranzano. The conflict arose due to territorial disputes and a struggle for control over the lucrative bootlegging and gambling operations. In 1929, the war reached its climax with a series of high-profile assassinations. Joe Massacre was lured into a trap and killed by his own men, allegedly with the assistance of Charles Lucky Luciano. Following Massacre's death, Salvatore Maranzano emerged as the victor, establishing himself as the new leader of the American Mafia. However, Maranzano's reign was short-lived, as Luciano orchestrated his assassination in 1931 to consolidate power and end the war. The Castellammarese War had a profound impact on the American Mafia. It led to the formation of the Commission, a governing body that aimed to establish a more organized and cooperative structure among mafia families. This shift in power dynamics laid the foundation for the modern Italian-American Mafia. 2. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, 1929. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre is one of the most notorious incidents in mafia history. It occurred on February 14, 1929, in Chicago, and was a culmination of a bitter rivalry between Al Capone and George Bugs Moran, leaders of the South Side and North Side gangs, respectively. In an attempt to eliminate Moran and his gang, Capone's men dressed as police officers entered a garage where Moran's associates were gathered. They proceeded to brutally gun down 7 members of the North Side gang. While Moran himself narrowly escaped, the massacre shocked the public and intensified law enforcement efforts to dismantle organized crime in Chicago. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre marked a turning point in public perception of the mafia. It exposed the ruthlessness and violence associated with organized crime, leading to increased public outrage and scrutiny from law enforcement agencies. It also solidified Al Capone's reputation as a ruthless and powerful figure within the criminal underworld. 3. Albert Anastasia, known as the Lord High Executioner, was a feared and influential figure in the American Mafia. As the head of the Gambino crime family, he controlled various criminal enterprises, including labor racketeering and the waterfront. In 1957, Anastasia was assassinated while sitting in a barber's chair at the Park Sheraton Hotel in New York City. The murder was orchestrated by his rivals within the mafia, allegedly on the orders of Carlo Gambino, who saw Anastasia as a threat to his own power and wanted to assume control of the family. The assassination of Albert Anastasia marked a significant shift in power within the Gambino crime family. Carlo Gambino ascended to the position of boss, ushering in a new era of leadership and influence. Under Gambino's reign, the family would become one of the most powerful and enduring criminal organizations in the United States. 4. The Apalachin Meeting, 1957. The Apalachin Meeting was a failed gathering of mafia leaders that took place in November 1957 at the home of Joseph Joe the Barber Barbara in Apalachin, New York. The meeting was organized by Vito Genovese, aiming to discuss and solidify his position as the new boss of the Luciano crime family. However, law enforcement became aware of the gathering and surrounded the house, leading to the arrest of more than 60 mafia members. The Apalachin Meeting exposed the extent of the mafia's national reach and shattered the myth of a localized Italian-American criminal network. It also so significantly heightened law enforcement efforts to combat organized crime and led to increased cooperation between federal and state agencies in targeting the mafia. The failed Apalachin Meeting marked a turning point in the fight against organized crime. It exposed the existence of a national criminal network and prompted intensified investigations and prosecutions, leading to the downfall of many high-ranking mobsters in the years that followed. 5. The murder of Paul Castellano, 1985. Paul Castellano was the boss of the Gambino crime family, one of the most powerful mafia organizations in New York City. In 1985, John Gotti orchestrated a brazen hit on Castellano outside Sparks Steakhouse in Manhattan. Gotti, along with a group of gunmen, ambushed and gunned down Castellano, effectively eliminating him as the Gambino boss. Gotti, known as the Teflon Don, took over the family and ushered in a new era of flamboyance and media attention. The murder of Paul Castellano solidified Gotti's position as a prominent figure within the American mafia and marked a shift in leadership and style. Lastly, if you are interested in the Russian mafia and the Italian mafia, you can watch it on the channel. Thank you for watching.